Hey guys, what's up? Edu Diaz Collections once again. This time, of course, one of my grails. I'm really happy to have this in my collection. It's definitely not going anywhere at all because I've been looking forward to this guy for more than a year or a year and a half. And it's the XM Studios Transformers line Optimus Prime, a 1/10 scale statue that is really impressive and very huge. It has a lot of pieces. As you can see, it came in one box, which is really surprising. I thought it would come in actually two boxes, but they were able to actually put it together in one, and it looks really amazing. Very heavy, one of the heaviest boxes I definitely got in from them. And as you can see, there was two sections actually that came in the box. One of them was holding pretty much the whole torso, the different arms, and also the legs on the top section. On the bottom section, you get the base, some additional items, including the gun, I believe, and also Optimus Prime converted into the truck. So XM added an additional piece for each Transformers on this line, and for Optimus Prime is obviously him transforming into the truck. Really cool heavy piece that you'll see a little bit later. And I know that Starscream also will come with the jet, so you can display them both together. So that's a cool feature that XM did, and I think it's gonna add to not only the value but also the display options with these beautiful pieces. Going over the base now, just to give you an idea, this is one of the biggest bases I have in my collection. You're looking at about 25 inches long. It's really long, and then the width of this base about 14 inches and the height 9 inches, so it adds a lot of height already, even before you put the statue on. With the statue, you're looking at about 40 inches in height to the tallest side of Optimus Prime when he's holding the gun. So that's something you got to take into consideration, because this is going to be a piece that you're going to be needing a lot of space for, and also a lot of height to be able to display him in a really good way, because this guy really does need to be showcased, ideally I would say, in a display on its own, so that you can really put some spotlight so he can look really amazing. But the base is really nicely done. I think they did a really good job as far as detailing goes on those hexagon shapes from the Cybertronian floor. There are two parts that need to be added, as you saw, those Surgebend-like type of features there on top. But other than that, I think it's a really well done painted and sculpted base. Huge, tall, and wide, but it adds a lot to the statue and its environment. It really looks futuristic, and I think they did a really cool job. Putting together the legs was a little bit of a challenge here. You basically have to put the left leg first and then the other one, and they basically clip in together as you see. That's the easiest way to put it together. Obviously very sturdy, because this is basically the base of all the additional parts on top, including the torso, the portrait, and all the arms, which are pretty heavy, very heavy items. So this part is very important. They did a great job, as you can see, a lot of details. There's some battle damage on the legs, especially on that really cool blue color that they put together. Very nice, just showing you the tires, which are already put there, but they come apart, two on each leg. As you can see, there's a lot of details on parts of Optimus Prime, including some of the cables or that type of stuff, all the mechanical stuff, even inside the leg, as you can see by his knee. Just great work by XM. A lot of detailing went into this, and a lot of work for sure. Definitely have to appreciate the art direction that they did. Continuing with the base a little bit, just to show you what two parts go in the base. One of them is this metal piece that looks to be remains on the Cybertronian floor. One thing that surprised me about this piece is that it has a pretty small peg that actually supports the whole weight, and it's a pretty long and tall piece. As you can see, a lot of cool details with metal like features, and just awesome sculpting overall, but it's pretty heavy. But I was surprised that actually that peg would actually support that, but they did a good job there. Now this is one of my favorite pieces. What looks to be a part of a Decepticon, maybe part of a plane, one of the exhausts there. I'm not really sure where it's from, but it gives you a little bit of a preview where the the other statues that are in this line are going to look like as far as color scheme, and also just the different aspects of weathering and the look and feel of metal that they did. I think XM Studios does a great job with this, and I'm looking forward to those other pieces as well. So there's been talk about this statue and this whole line from Transformers and XM Studios not being accurate as far as the G1, the old school Transformers lines. But I think XM Studio has done some parts that are a little bit more modern, and maybe even a little bit on the movie side of things. But overall, I think they did a great job. A lot of those items, including the jetpack, add a whole lot to this statue, just in wow factor and just coolness. And you know, I think you got to take your options. There's a lot of them there. There's PCS, there's Imagine Arts, there's Prime One Studios. There's a lot of Optimus Primes coming along, so there's a lot to choose from. But overall, I'm happy with my decision on going with the XM Studios Transformers line, and I'm really looking forward to reviewing those upcoming pieces down the line. One of the important parts here is the torso from Optimus Prime that basically houses the front of the truck, and what also within there it houses the old spark. It's a pretty cool looking piece. As you can see, it's very heavy. It also, the back, you'll be able to put the jetpack or just a regular cover. Here is the front of it, some cool detailing that XM Studios did. You'll be able to also put batteries to be able to light up those 6 lights that you see there. Lighter features are always a little iffy in any statue, as many collectors out there know. I will check this out, take some pictures and take a look at them for one time, and then just take them out pretty much. I know that the portrait also has an ability to have the lighter feature there. Very cool, but it doesn't really need it in my opinion. I think it's just a complete statue overall, with even without the lighter feature. There's a lot of parts that are really impressive on the whole statue of Optimus Prime, but this one is one of the most impressive ones to me. This jetpack, as you can see, there's a lot of detailing that went into this piece. I'm assuming that they actually have many pieces that are painted from each other, so you can put them together and have a flawless painting application. Also, the different colors, there's a lot of different tones of metal like colors, including grays and some of the bronze colors and all that. And the bends are really impressive because they, even though they're really small, they look like real bends. There's even shading, a little bit of gradients, different colors in there. I mean, you can even see details as far as screws that are throughout that piece. I mean, incredible amount of time that was spent on creating this piece. Not only that, but it's throughout the whole statue. You can see a lot of details that needed obviously a lot of time to be accomplished. Obviously, all this work and detailing and time that's spent on this statue is reflected on the price, and it being a collectible as it's going to be. I believe this is going to be one of those grail pieces right along the XM Ghost Rider and also the XM Hulkbuster. I think it's going to be at that level, and most likely the whole line from the Transformers is going to be at that level. So I would say if you are on the fence on getting this, you should definitely get on it, because it's going to be really hard to get, and I'm sure it's going to go definitely up in value. And here finally is one of the display options of Optimus Prime, and as you can see, he is very tall with this option, because you have the hand raised up with that really cool gun. It basically is the tallest option. You're talking about 40 inches in height, which is crazy. This is really one of the tallest pieces that I have in my collection, and that's something you got to take into consideration when you are about to display this guy. But basically, he has on the right arm he's holding that big gun, and on the left he has That axe that I really like the color scheme and what they did here. This axe looks very real, and the colors that they use and those accent colors at the end of the axe itself, I mean, it really looks very realistic. So definitely a cool looking piece. I gotta say, I love what XM Studio has done with the Transformers line, and it's a pretty long line now because it's growing, but it's gonna be amazing when you have these pieces together if you are actually gonna be getting them. Right now, I have Optimus Prime, I have also Starscream on PO, and I'm hoping to get on the list very soon for Megatron and also Grimlock. Now, these are incredibly big, spacious statues, so I'm definitely gonna have to find a spot for them, but I think it's gonna be worth it. All of them have incredible details overall, and they're gonna be amazing to have together. You have to keep in mind that these are also, especially this guy is made to order. It's only 650 pieces for Optimus Prime. As far as Starscream, we don't know yet what the edition size is. They haven't set yet. For Megatron, you're looking at 258 pieces. I mean, if you talk about the edition sizes, you know that that's very, very low. And it's going to be one of those pieces going to be completely sought after if you don't actually jump on that. They already also said for Grimlock how many pieces there's going to be, and it looks to be 399 edition size, and that is something that I have to jump on if I want that one, even though this guy is going to be incredibly, incredibly big. But I think it'll be worth it. It's going to be one of those lines that's going to be very iconic and very hard to get down the line. There are three other pieces that actually were announced. One of them obviously is a Bumblebee, which has already been shown. It seemed to be a little smaller in scale in my mind, but I could be wrong about that. They were saying also they're going to be do some changes to it, but I would like to see those changes before deciding whether to get Bumblebee or not. I know there's about 300 or 350 pieces. So if you talk about a collectible, definitely Bumblebee would be a good piece to pick up because that edition size is actually right on point. Then after that, actually, they showed Soundwave in one of the cons, but it was an unpainted piece, and also the print that they had done, it was smaller in scale compared to the other guys. It looked a lot smaller, maybe like a 1/6 compared to a 1/10. They said that they're going to be doing another pass at it, and they're going to be reprinting it and actually have one at the 1/10 scale case, which is going to go along with these other pieces. I'm hoping that I can get that one. It's going to be obviously basically three pieces in one with the two smaller pieces in Soundwave, so it's going to be an iconic piece as well. And the last piece that was shown was the Optimus Prime Nemesis, which is very similar to this statue. The main differences are on the base, which is a different base, and also two sets of arms that give him different looking poses. The color scheme, which was I'm sure it's going to be darker, although they haven't shown the color scheme yet. But that's basically very similar to this one, and I'll be happy keeping this Optimus Prime. That's basically all of the Transformers XM 110 line from XM Studios. And I think there are some great options. Obviously, getting all of them is going to be hard, but choosing at least a few of them and displaying them in a really nice case, it's gonna basically look amazing. So if you are thinking about getting any of this, you probably should move on that because they're very low in edition sizes and are gonna be very hard to find down the line. So beautiful pieces, don't think about it too much and just go for it. Going back to Optimus Prime, just to show you the second displayed option of Optimus, he has once again the right arm with the gun, and as you can see this time around, he actually has it pointing outwards instead of having all the way up, which brings down the height a little bit, but still a tall piece. On the other hand, you see that he has a communications screen, and it looks really cool. The portrait also had to be changed so that he can actually be facing that screen itself. Looking over the other little piece that came with Optimus, basically him as the truck transformed, and you can see that they also did put a lot of detail on this truck. As you can see, the colors are really vibrant. There were a couple of pieces that needed to be added, like the front and also the back bumper, and the little small side mirrors also had to be added. But overall, everything else was pretty much together. Beautiful color paint application by XM Studios here, and they did a pretty good job. And once displayed together, it really goes well because it does show the transformation. What a beautiful piece, guys. This guy is definitely an iconic piece that is just gonna take your collection to another level. I'm very happy with it. Color application and sculpting by XM was just right on point. There are some minor little things that you could pick on, but I'm very happy overall, and I'm hoping that that's going to be the same case with the other XM Studio Transformers that are coming along. So thank you for checking out the review. Please share, like this video, and subscribe, as there are many more pieces coming along. Thank you and happy collecting.